Hello my Ingriders, this is Fanboy and welcome to your daily dose of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today's game is going to be another DreamHack game out of 2015, and your opponents today are going to be Bomber in the top left-hand corner of Prion Terraces. Prion Terraces. I have no idea what Prion even means, but there you go. And his opponent today is going to be TY in the bottom right-hand corner as our red Terran. I almost said Protoss for no apparent reason. But it is TVT once again, and today is going to be an exciting game because I have not seen a TVT in a very long time. I want to see really what's changed in the metagame from the early pre-launch version of LOTV, or Legacy of the Void as a lot of people like to call it, and see what type of mechanics have changed and what type of strategies have changed, or if any strategies have changed. Bomber does have both gases mining fully, and so does TY only has one, and it's being mined fully. So I would expect, and am now getting it's going to be a Reaper opening. For TY, it's going to be a Reaper expand. He is building a command center, not on the low ground, of course, but on the high ground. Excuse me, high ground. So that's a very smart choice from TY, because if he had built it on the low ground and this Reaper from Bomber could by any chance be able to slip by this Reaper and this SCV, that command center could be delayed and also get a free SCV kill. So, meanwhile, it looks like what TY is doing is he's going to go into a very slow 1-1-1 with a command center / orbital command, because he'll probably turn it into an orbital. Bomber, on the other hand, is going straight up 1-1-1. So, with quite a few Reapers mixed in. How many Reapers does he have? He has 2 already, and he also has a Hellion for no apparent reason. I would assume he's thinking TY has a bunch of Marines, and that would be correct. He does have a bunch of Marines. And it looks like TY is doing what I thought he was going to do. He's going into a very slow 1-1-1 to follow that up with most likely getting an expansion. He wants to hold this pressure at the front door and kill off these Reapers if possible. If he can, that means he doesn't have a lot of threat. Meanwhile, TY's Reaper has gotten 1 kill and basically disrupted mining at Bomber's base by a lot. But this Hellion is going to clean that Reaper up pretty easily. That Reaper only got 1 kill. It looks like Bomber is most likely going to need to expand here shortly. Those 3 Reapers are still alive. They have not been killed, and it looks like Bomber, meanwhile, is getting cloaked for Banshees. He already has 1 on the way, and he has siege tanks on the way as well, and is producing 2 Marines out of this barracks at once. But not really much of anything else being built or planned at this point in time. He does have a command center being going to be built right here, right now, and TY's command center, or orbital command, is going to be dropped down here very shortly. There is a Raven on the way for TY. Does already have a Viking out. That Viking is going to help very, very much. And also, the Cyclone is going to help out a ton. These Cyclones have huge range. They can deliver massive amounts of damage at an extraordinarily range, and they can move and shoot at the same time. So they are not to be underestimated, and even one can very much hurt your army very, 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 very quickly. Scan comes up from, I want to say Bomber, but the Banshees, I almost said something else. I'm like, I looked at the B, I'm like, the Banshees did move in, got down an SCV, got a couple other things. The biggest threat to this army right here is the Raven and the Viking. If they lose their Banshee cover, they're pretty much dead. And they have 2 siege tanks, so I just don't think it's going to be enough to take down this expansion. He is going to pound away at this expansion. It has gotten almost half to death, or half low. Cyclone is getting quite a bit of damage and does almost kill off the Banshee, but I'm pretty sure this Raven Viking combo from TY is going to kill them off quite quickly. Kills so far 6 to 2 and 19 to 23. And army supply right now is almost dead even, and workers are almost dead even. TY only has, what, 3 extra? So that's a thing. But you have to keep in mind, here comes basically a suicidal Banshee from TY. How many kills is he gonna get? He already has, he's up to 5. He's up to 6, and that was about it. So 6 and 6. So they're very even on workers killed and workers produced at this point in time. They only are up. Oh wow, TY is taking the gold. He is going to be on 3 bases here very shortly. If Bomber doesn't do anything, Bomber's going to be in kind of troubled state, because you have stim and +1, stim +1. Shortly, you're going to see this production bar get a lot smaller, because Bomber's just going to run out of resources, while TY has just this huge resource flow. And that Banshee got 5 kills and is now dead, because it only had like 4 or 5 health. So yeah, but both players are doing the same thing, but in a little bit different styles. Bomber is saying, okay, I'm going to build up an army, and then I'm going to go out and I'm going to try to kill you as quickly as humanly possible, because I will not have the resources to expand. TY, on the other hand, is saying, okay, I'm going to play the long game. I'm going to expand. I'm going to expand not just to a normal base, but I'm going to expand to the goal that's literally my 3rd, technically, on this map. And I'm going to just outproduce you. And I think that's going to be the case, because if you look at TY's production and just look at how many barracks he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barracks, and you look at what Bomber has technically 1, 2, 3, 4, it looks like. Yeah, he has 4 barracks, but you're gonna see very slowly this production line is going to diminish, and those 2 Marines are pretty much blown into non-existence. So here's basically what TVT has come down to, is you have Marines, and then you have already siege tanks being carried around by medevacs, and maybe a Banshee here and there. That Banshee is going to pay for its life here relatively shortly if it doesn't move. But it looks like the problem for Bomber at the moment is Bomber does not have air superiority. If Bomber had air superiority, this would still be a contest, but he could use his Vikings to land. And that Viking just got blew up by a tank. Kind of odd, but okay. So basically you have two lines. And I remember back in the day when you would see a TYTY game and it would be just like this. But the problem is those two nice advance, nice retreat siege tanks do kind of come up, leaving two behind it looks like. But as you can see, most of TY's Marine force is back behind the tanks right now. And that's never a good thing. And here comes the major engagement. But look at that concave from TY. Oh my goodness, that concave from TY is huge. Marines pretty much everywhere. And it looks like that was a very decisive battle. That concave and that reaction time was just massive. You had all the Marines back here, basically, as I was saying, and then instantly they split up perfectly. I mean, absolutely, utterly perfectly to make this ginormous concave. This huge, huge concave. And just obliterated Bomber. And Bomber calls GG because if he loses this whole entire army, he's pretty much dead. And he only had one attack while TY had 1-1 and stem. And so did Bomber. Bomber had stem, but he only had one attack. So, yeah. TY just out-produced him and also outmaneuvered him. Bomber's units were all stuck in this little concave right here. And they were completely enveloped by TY's Marines and just slaughtered. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the game. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. And I will see you guys in the next video.